Hey guys, you're watching Dansky, the place to be to develop your creative skills. And if you watched last year's Meetup live or through my videos, you'll know that it was kind of like this event after Adobe MAX that was kind of like a recap of some of the highlights from MAX. And then there were some speakers, some drinks, some socializing. It was a really, really cool experience. And Adobe invited me along. We had a good time. And yeah, they've invited me to go again this year. So I must be doing something right. So thank you, Adobe. And for full disclosure, like last year, this is of course a sponsored video. I have to disclose that, otherwise I will get in trouble with someone, probably. But if you watch my content, you know that I love the Adobe software. It's no secret. But yeah, hashtag Adobe partner or whatever it is that I've got to put to disclose it's a sponsored video. It's all good. And this year it is hosted again by the one and only Rufus Deutschler from Adobe. And there's going to be two speakers this year. We've got Patricia Bright and Mina Lima. So Patricia Bright is a YouTuber. She's been on the platform since about 2009, I think it is. Really cool channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she's gonna be talking about. It's kind of like at Max, there was Lily saying, it's kind of a little bit like, hey, you're a YouTuber, I'm a YouTuber, relatable. So it was really, really cool to kind of see someone who is in this whole YouTube bubble talking about something related to like video content creation, whatever it is, or just YouTube. But also Mina Lima are going to be on stage, and they are the graphic designers behind the, well, it's a small series you may have heard of, Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. Huge series, everyone's heard of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. In fact, I haven't actually seen the latest film yet. I really want to go and see it because the first one was just, oh, it was just magical. So I've no doubt what they talk about is also going to be super interesting. But yeah, those are the two speakers. Random hand gestures. And if you haven't seen my video from Max or you've not watched the keynotes, then these are some of my favorite updates and additions from Max. So Adobe XD went like completely bananas this year. They introduced third-party plugin support. So Adobe XD has developed over the last 2 years loads of new features pretty much every month. Now it supports third-party plugins. So developers can go, I'd love to make Adobe XD do this thing over here. And now they can make that plugin. It plugs in to Adobe XD, and now XD can do that thing. So the possibilities for what we can create with XD has now just been completely blown wide open. And XD now also supports voice integration, so you can get XD to use your voice as a trigger. No longer do we just have to click or tap to get XD to do something. We can now use our voice and program our artboards to respond to particular voice commands. And probably one of my favorite additions to XD was the auto animate feature. So you could have one artboard, nice design there. You can duplicate that artboard. You can move some of the objects around on that artboard, change the opacity, a whole bunch of creative settings on this second artboard. And then what you do is you just link them together with an auto animate transition, and XD will figure out exactly how to transition all of those different settings together. And when you play it, it just seamlessly does that super smooth animation. And there's also some different easing options as well. So now we've got things like bounce and snap. So in terms of creating awesome animations in a prototype, XD just now makes it even easier to make your prototypes look more like a real world product. A beautiful real world product with some slick animation. And I would definitely recommend checking out what Howard Pinsky has been doing on Twitter and YouTube, because he's been demonstrating just how far you can really take these XD animations. He's been doing some really cool stuff like an animated counter with numbers, some parallax effects. So yeah, check out what Howard Pinsky has been posting, because he's really demonstrating some of the things that you can actually create with this new feature. And to be honest, it's just freaking awesome. And something else I love is Illustrator's new feature, Freeform gradients. So before you had the horizontal gradient, the vertical gradient, the diagonal gradient, and essentially it goes in one direction to another. You also have radial gradient that goes from the center to the edge, or from the edge to the center. But now we've got freeform gradients, so we can pick a shape, we can pick certain points in that shape and add a gradient to that particular point. And that point will then blend beautifully into the rest of the shape or into other points that we have specified colors on. So if you'd like to learn more about that, then definitely check out my recent Illustrator tutorials that demonstrate exactly how to use this new awesome feature, because it really is pretty cool. And for me personally, one of the most exciting things that came out of Max was the announcement of Premiere Rush CC. So this is a video editing app. You can get it for your Windows PC, your Mac, laptop or desktop, your iPad, your iPhone. It's like super accessible because like most of us, let's be honest, we've all got some kind of device, so anyone can start creating content now. So if you've thought about giving this whole video editing, content creation thing a go, there's never been a better time to get started. But if you use something like Premiere already, like I do, it's part of my workflow, you can actually start the process in Rush. You can do like your rough edit, and then if you want to, you can export straight from Rush, or you can export that and open it in Premiere Pro and then finesse your project before you output it from there. So for example, I'm going to the Creative Meetup this week, 28th of November. It's on a Wednesday and it's 7 to 9 p.m. GMT. So it's an evening thing, and I'm gonna be filming the event. I'm gonna be editing it after. Like, I'll be honest, this week is gonna be super busy for me, but there's gonna be a ton of time when I'm gonna be traveling, and I'm gonna be able to start editing my video project on my iPad Pro, like when I'm traveling. So it gives me like a great head start, and by the time I actually get back here in the studio, I'm able to just open that up in Premiere Pro and just start finishing the edit. So it's gonna make getting my next video done, which is covering the event and going up the week after, it's gonna make that so much easier to do. Take my footage, get it in Rush, do the rough edit, open it in Premiere Pro, and I've got like a super quick head start before I get back to editing here in the studio. So if you've ever thought about giving this whole video, content creation, maybe even YouTube thing a go, if you've got a skill or a passion, or you wanna teach or just share something with the world, then just start with what you have, be as consistent as you can, and most importantly, never give up. And as I say, if you're already creating content in some form, then Rush just makes it easier to either create content or get a head start creating content while you're on the go. So if you're traveling a lot or you're commuting a lot and you're creating video content, then you can now just utilize that time where you're traveling to actually work on your edit, which is super cool. And if you're thinking of giving this a go, if you've got a PC, a laptop, an iPhone, an iPad, anyone can have a crack at making some awesome videos. So if you'd like to find out more information about the Creative Meetup, there is a link in the video description, as well as a link to checking out Rush. If you're interested in giving video content creation a go, definitely check it out. And remember, you can watch the Creative Meetup live. It's this Wednesday, the 28th of November from 7 to 9 p.m. GMT. And of course, that is the time of Her Majesty's United Kingdom. But anyway, that wraps it up for me for this video, and I'll be doing a cheeky live stream before the event next week. If you want to jump on, say hi, ask me any questions about anything. But anyway, if you've got any questions or comments at all, then just drop those down below. But as always, like this video if you enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you next time.